Didn't even get to start with a joke.
Well, that's on you. I guess that means that the joke is for everyone.
Okay. Did you hear about the guy that was addicted to brake fluid?
No.
Nope.
He said he could stop at any time. So for those of you watching at home who notice that we usually start our live shows with laughter, that's because I'm usually doing a dad joke at the beginning of it just before we go live. So it sounds like today we're looking at behind the scenes. What have you been doing behind the scenes, Marion?
Yeah, my microphone's been broken for like a month or two, and I have to literally hold the microphone cord to keep it in place. Yep.
All right, so my behind the scenes is I've relocated for different reasons to my basement, and so I'm in this area that's kind of like just set up a little bit to where that's my behind the scenes right now as I'm redoing things upstairs. So right now, that's my behind the scenes. What about you, Taylos?
I thought I just told my behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
A bit of a joke.
I love your behind the scenes, though.
I am wearing pants this time though, Melanie.
Gotta love Zoom. Oh, wow. I'm grateful for that, Taylos.
All right. So now that we've covered off behind the scenes.
This is why I lead.
Yeah, I'm just
the
making
comedy
sure
officer takes it off track hard.
This is really why we enjoy so much and this is how we start our days off pretty much every day, at least every weekday, is meeting together and just having a good time, loosening up and enjoying just life in general, and really focusing on how to go about being positive and that sort of thing. So that's kind of the real behind the scenes of what's going on here. So
good time. Melanie, I like it. Yeah. Okay. So other behind the scenes. So we've been working together almost every day since April. And I think we've been, well, I'd like to say on my part, been very fortunate to be able to talk with you ladies and keep our spirits up and our motivation up, because, you know, it's been a challenging year. And whilst, you know, a lot of people are in the habit of saying 2020 is a write-off and it's probably been the worst year, along with that, for me personally, it's probably been one of my highlights, and that's directly down to the work we've been doing in our challenges. And it was great to see the videos from some of our participants saying what they've got out of it. So how would you describe whether what you've gotten out of it, or what people would expect to get from our course? Or sorry, our community?
It's a community, not a course. Our new mantra. I'll start. Yeah, I would say one of the things we've said this week is that 2020 has been like a Sharknado. It's just wild. It's just absolutely wild for a lot of people. And I think for us, sometimes we forget that because we're in our little, you know, happy, masterful manifestors bubble where we're focusing on the good things. We acknowledge everything that's happening. It's not like we're little Pollyannas not acknowledging what's going on, but we recognize that there are just bigger goals to be focusing on. And there are things that we can control. And that's what we put our effort and attention on. And so I have no concept of knowing what my life would be like if I didn't have Masterful Manifestors in 2020. Absolutely not. Because it hasn't just been, you know, a good place to be in and a positive like community in my life. It's been a very transformative experience. Like, I've changed as a person. And I think a lot of people have changed, you know, due to their circumstances, but how they've changed probably is in a lot of different directions. There's been a lot of awakenings this year. There's been a lot of just, you know, breakups and things that have happened. And whether that's with a relationship or with a job or with, you know, a habit. And then there's been new addictions that have been created through these circumstances. So it's really hard to describe just because I am so immersed in it. And of course, also being in the Masterful Manifestors business, like, I get to choose, you know, the vibe that we get to have in our community. And I get to influence that as it is influencing me as well. So it is hard to describe, but also it makes me super hungry when I see other people who are struggling, who have let the circumstances really get to them, whatever they may be, whether it's about politics or COVID or natural disasters, you know, all of the things that are happening that are real things that are happening. It's not like we're making this up in our heads. Like, these are real situations that are affecting our lives and changing the way that we live as a society. And when I see people, you know, affected by it, I'm just so hungry to say, hey, you know, let's look at it a different way and let's see what we can do about this. You know, if this is something that's super passionate, that you're super passionate about, you know, let's put some energy behind it to make it better. And let's put you in an environment where you can thrive and truly grow and make that transformation happen for yourself and for the people that you care about, instead of letting it beat you down. Because we have the choice in all of these circumstances to go up or to go down. And we just all have decided to go up.
Awesome. Thanks, Marion. What about you, Melanie?
I really, especially like the part where you touched on like the passion and the energy part of it. It's so important. Like, being in this group, it's helped me so much to just remain focused on the big goals that I have. You know, I like to set, and that's what we do, is we'll set our intentions and our goals for the season and really stay focused on that. And then as things come up, as life happens, as you know, different things strike you and inspire you or bring that energy, whether it be positive or negative, it really is learning how to harness and look into, okay, number one, why is this triggering me so much? Why do I feel such power behind this? And then, yes, how can I focus it and go toward what it is I want to accomplish, that purpose that's in my life? How can I use that energy, combining it with what's going on in the world or in your personal life? You know, just being able to harness that and transform it and put it into that positive stuff. It's so important. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Marion, that, you know, it's about using life and using what you have to drive you toward your goals and to really put your talents and your abilities and your skills toward making a difference and toward your goals and toward what it is you have to share. And so, you know, having those big goals and learning how to tap into what your purpose is and learning into how to tap into, you know, those big goals that drive you. Well, how can you get there? And that's with the community that we have, we're able to see how others can, you know, if they're having a bad day or something that's really rough that's going on and they're having certain emotions with it, how you can look at those emotions, see what they can mean for you and why you're having them, and then just how to either let the emotion be and see it, or be able to use that energy and transform it when it's time for it. And so just that community aspect really helps, because it gives you outside perspective of what's going on. It gives you reassurance as just a human being having emotions. And then it helps direct you to where you can do that transformation instead of just remaining stuck sometimes. As I know, often, like by myself, it's a lot harder to get out of things. You have your toolbox and you go to, but when you have someone else that is outside of you and has a suggestion or to try something different, or when they were in that same position, they did something, and it just all the information and energy together just helps move toward continuing on toward your purpose and toward your goals. And so for me, I really enjoy how it keeps me focused, moving toward those goals. And as things come up, you can use life. That's how it is. It's to see how you respond and react and move toward it, and to make this world a better place, your personal life, and how you interact in the world. So it's just such a beautiful community, and just helps keep me on course. And that's what's great. And being able to help others in the process. And it's not just the three of us that are helping everyone. A lot of times the people in the group feel really good when they're able to contribute and either something that we're having an issue with, or help guide us, or help guide another participant through something. It's just, coming together and being part of a community and helping and serving one another really fuels us all as well.
Yeah, thanks, Melanie. For me, particularly in the first season, it was all about financial goals, and by the second season, the financial goals were still strong, but for me, it was more of a focus on who I needed to become in order to achieve that. And I think the real turning point was acknowledging the fact that everyone who comes into the group gets to be themselves and gets supported without any fear of judgment. It's just such a loving, supportive environment. And I've really noticed at the end of this season how so many of our participants have become comfortable with who they are, and that's what's allowed them to grow. And for me, that's certainly such a big thing in our community, is people being themselves and being loved and appreciated for that. And I know I've certainly gotten a lot out of that, and am very grateful and appreciative for that. So yeah, interesting. So Melanie, do you want to tell us a bit about what's coming up?
We do have a free course coming up to be able to give more of an insight of what we have going on with Masterful Manifestors, and give you an inside feel of what we do and what we have to offer. In addition to the beautiful community, there are different challenges that we put our participants through, and there's a guided formula for helping the transformation along the way and getting people toward their goals. And we'll be sharing that in our free class coming up this Friday.
Yeah, that's going to be October 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's going to be called "You're Gonna Need a Bigger Vision for 2021.
Awesome. So get onto those Sharknadoes and get a bigger boat. We look forward to catching up with you all on that Friday. And thanks for watching.
Bye.